you feeling?
Mix of emotions, to be honest. I'm like pretty excited that I get to play again. It's been a long time since I played, but also it's it's been testing few years. It's tested my character, my resilience, how I can bounce back from setbacks, and it's just there's no greater feeling. It's the ultimate reward for all the hard work, both personally and all my mental health battle. I think you realise even today when all the boys got around me that I couldn't have done it by myself. And there's so many people involved, at the footy club, my teammates, my family, Pete, Bianca, my psychs that have worked with me over a long time, but also someone like Alex and Jonna, S&C staff, and then having the backing of Shorey is huge. So it's a pretty long-winded answer, but I'm pretty excited, mate.
Did you know that was coming today because you weren't in the initial team meeting, so you didn't see the squad? Zeeb starts talking.
Yeah.
Did you know it was coming?
Because I wasn't in the meeting, but the boys said I was in the squad because I asked, am I in the squad? And they said, yeah, you're in the squad. It's been a challenging month up here. Been away from family, not playing, but also feeling that I'm close and I'm AFL ready. So I've always the last few weeks I've had a feeling that I was close, but I just didn't know how close I was. Sure, it didn't really give me any idea the last few days that I was potentially going to play, which is probably the best way, I think, given how long it's taken, and it's to be able to capture that moment is really organic around my teammates, and it was the first news of it like there and then. So it was pretty special having someone like Zeebs, telling me in front of the group that I was going to play. We've been through a fair bit. He's been there throughout the whole time, and I guess even some of my teammates like Lukey, Garns, Benny, they've been they've been a really good support for me at the footy club. So it's good to be able to share those good moments. There's a lot of lows in footy, and I think this is one we can all smile about. So yeah.
Going back all that time ago, you've been setting your sights on this particular moment, or the moment that you run out onto the Gabba it's going to be.
Yeah.
Your thoughts around that? It must be surreal.
Yeah, I've played it over and over in my head, especially the last few weeks. I'm like, how will I find out? And the day when the day comes on Saturday, running out, and I guess who would have thought that I'd be making my return up here, not in front of my family. So, I think it's been a really strange year in so many ways. But I think when I set those goals that I wanted to come back and play AFL footy, I guess it didn't really matter where and when it was going to happen. I think if I just had that in the back of my mind, just chipping away at it each day. There were days where I thought I was so far off it, both physically and then I guess seeing other guys playing and wanting to play with them, and sitting out all last year. We weren't going really that well. Just being there, knowing that there's nothing I can do but just sit back and support the boys. I think now there's something I can do about it. Go back and play footy and repay the club back and what they've done for me in terms of the support, giving me a contract last year, whether knowing or not knowing if I was going to play or not play. I think that's huge. Just being able to back people in when sometimes it's really grey. So it's been massive.
So the hamstring injury when you came back from the VFL and you were building towards a return in 2019.
Yeah.
You had a hamstring injury. 2020, you're close to being picked, and then get picked in the senior side for round one. And then you had cold symptoms, which because of COVID, that ruled you out of training that whole week. So the club had to rule you out.
Yeah.
Then you're on the verge of a comeback after the lockdown. You go to the gym and you tear your pec.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that it might not happen?
Yeah. I mean, there were moments when I was just like, geez, like, it's just gonna. When's my moment gonna come? When am I gonna play? And I think, the work that I've done with the professionals, the psych and the psychiatrists, it's like, don't try and take on too much. I guess a month is a long time. If you look too far ahead, it's pretty big. It's pretty big to try and set that goal. And I like the goal was to come back and play AFL footy, but I just had to take those setbacks slowly, take each day as it comes. What are we doing in the gym today? And I guess being really clear with the coaches what they want me to work on. I just even sitting here, like it's pretty hard, mate. Like I don't think it was gonna. There were times when I didn't think it was gonna come, but then there were times at training when I trained really well and I just feel really sharp, and I'm like, actually I'm not that far off. But until they tell you, until the coaches tell you you're playing, yeah, you just don't know really.
Do you somehow hope that your achievement and what's going to happen on this weekend can be a little bit of a beacon for other people that might be struggling?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it was a few weeks ago where I spoke to the boys and shared parts of my journey coming to Australia, playing footy, my battle with mental health, and I'm it's always been since I've been through the last few years. I want to be able to help people in a way that give them hope, that they can do things that they once thought was impossible, or getting back to living the life that they always imagined. But yeah, life's pretty hard. There's some obstacles that get in the way. Like there's no better example than the current circumstances with COVID. A lot of people have lost their jobs. It's impacted a lot of people financially. So there are a lot of people struggling, but I think if you just have the belief that it's going to turn, as long as you just keep rocking up each day. Sometimes you don't know what you're chipping away at, but yeah, I think I was just really determined to do it, and I think the incentive being that I can actually help other people, people that I don't know. There's been so many people that have been in touch with me, that they've shared with me their battles with mental health, and I think for me that's a pretty big responsibility, and I've wanted to do it right, and that's why coming back to playing AFL footy, that's what I do best, and that's what I did in the past. So for me to work back and get that and do that, hopefully that gives people hope, that they can get back to doing things they once loved. So
there's a big difference playing this weekend, because there'll be a little man back in Melbourne watching his dad play AFL for the first time. Hendrix is about to turn 1.
Yeah.
How special is that going to be?
Yeah, it's amazing. I was just coming up here, and then, part of the bigger picture is getting back to playing AFL footy. I couldn't do that if I was back in Melbourne with him, but yeah, I love my little man. I'm so proud of him, and he's growing each day, and Emily sends me photos and videos of him. He's starting to say dada and all that stuff. So lucky the game's in the afternoon, so he can see me on tally, and yeah, I love being a dad, and I love being a dad to Hendrik. So yeah.
Mate, you're an inspiration. We're all proud of you. We love you. Have a great game, and welcome back.
No worries. Thanks.